Hi, this is Anita from All Seasons Travel. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the trip to Africa, Tanzania, and Zanzibar. I have just come back with the group. We were there for 13 days, and I posted a lot of videos, a lot of pictures. We had a wonderful time. This was really a trip of a lifetime, and I had a lot of inquiries ever since from people that would like to go honeymoons, people that would like to go with their families, and people that would like to go on a group with me once again. So we decided to do a group in July 2026. If you'd like to join me, please let me know. I'm open to all questions, but hopefully I can address most of them right now. While I'm talking to you. So why did we pick July? A lot of people are calling and asking, oh, but why are you going in July? It must be like 50 degrees in Africa. Well, it isn't. The reason we picked July is because it's the Great Migration. So it's right after the raining season in that region of Serengeti and the national parks. So you're headed there and you want to be headed there right after the raining season. So the end of June, July, August, September is the absolute best time to be visiting Tanzania and going on a safari in general in that area of Africa. Also, weather-wise, I want to, I've said this to a couple of people that have called me. We actually, some of my group had left Canada, some of the group had come from Europe, and it was well above 35 degrees Celsius when we left our homes, but it was about 27 when we hit Tanzania. The first night when we were in Arusha, it actually rained a little bit. So it was around 22, not even that warm. We were not able to use the pool in that first resort where we stayed because the weather was actually chilly. And so that second night we headed out to Manyara and we did our safari into Zanzibar and the weather was perfect. I'm going to say nothing less than perfect. We had a very tiny bit of rain a couple of days, but the temperature was between 26 and 30 degrees, no more than 30 on any given day. So that's why we are going to be doing July again. And we wanted it, of course, to be during the holidays. We wanted it to be when you can take your kids, or we've had a couple of teachers that couldn't take any time off on other months. And that was also one of the reasons we picked July. So it's a big list. I'm going to go down it. One of the questions was, can I join you on the trip to Africa flying in from Europe or somewhere else? Yes, of course. So the price that we're putting on our website is the actual tour price. And then we do air separately. On this occasion, in the last couple of weeks, we've had people coming in from Canada. Most of the group, we've had people coming in from Vienna. We had people coming in from Belgrade, and everybody flew in from different cities into Tanzania. And then also a lot of the people flying in from Canada went on the 2-week safari. And after the 2-week safari, they went to Europe for the next couple of months or the next couple of weeks. So that is absolutely something that we can do and something that you can do when you're planning this trip for next year. And the reason, again, why it's in the middle of the summer. All right. So what does the price include? So the price that we've put on the website, it includes, obviously, your safari. It includes the 6-night stay in Zanzibar at the beach resort. It includes all the transfers. So you're being picked up at the airport, 3 times during the trip. It includes the domestic flight, which is going to be from Kilimanjaro to Zanzibar. So that is all included. In the first part of our trip, which is the safari, it is going to be full board, meaning you're going to get 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in most cases, breakfast is going to be buffet. Lunch is going to be a packed box that they're going to pack for us. We're going to be taking it on safari. And the actual dinner is going to be a la carte at all the lodges. When we fly over to Zanzibar for the beach holiday, it is going to be a half board. So it's going to be breakfast and dinner, but it's a beautiful breakfast and dinner. Also lunch, also buffet for breakfast, and a la carte for dinner, which is a 4 or a 5-course meal. I don't remember right now. Could you remember? I think it was a 4-course meal. Yeah. 4-course meal, but quite beautiful, all fresh, prepared then and there. I think you are going to love it. If you have any, people were asking me about food. Oh, how is the food in Tanzania? It's amazing. So I was actually quite nicely surprised. We were getting amazing service and meals all throughout the trip. And also, if you have any intolerances that you want to have mentioned, if you need your meals to be gluten-free, lactose-free, or whatever it is, you just let us know and we can put that on the manifest when we send it out. And they're very, very good about handling it. Also, for picky eaters, picky kids, same thing. Lots of food, lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, lots of pastries. I think as far as food is concerned, you don't have to worry at all. In Zanzibar, we also had the 24-hour menu with snacks. When we go down to the beach, We did have a tennis court. We did have a couple of pools that was included, obviously, in the price. There is an additional fees. You can do all sorts of different sports like the scuba diving, catamaran, snorkeling, all sorts of sightseeing. And that I will send to you with the actual PDF about the trip. What else? Tanzania, are there mosquitoes? I was lucky enough not to see any. Some people were bitten here or there, but there's nothing really to worry about. So nothing that mosquito repellent is not gonna get rid of. Very few mosquitoes. Also, it's not a malaria infested area. A lot of people were asking about vaccinations. Nothing in Tanzania is mandatory. So you don't need any vaccinations in order to enter the country. But a lot of people did take malaria pills, and a lot of people did take yellow fever. Yellow fever is a once-in-a-lifetime shot. If you want to go to Africa again, you will probably most likely need it for other countries. But for Tanzania, it's not mandatory. It is highly recommended, I should say. Do I need a visa for Tanzania? Yes, you need a visa. However, it is an electronic visa, such an ETA, like most people have filled out to a lot of countries in the world, and you get it online. Did have people who did not have time to get it online before we actually left for Tanzania, and there is a possibility to get it when you actually land there. So you can get it online, we can handle it before you leave, or you can do the Tanzania visa at arrival, and it's $50 US. There is a mandatory medical health insurance, which is $40 US, that you actually need to get also before you leave or once you land. And this is, tiny things that I will definitely inform you about before we get on this trip. But those are the only two mandatory things that you need for Tanzania: visa and medical insurance. Let's see. People are asking me if there's alcohol in the safari lodges. There is. So in most lodges, they had local beer, but also a lot of international drinks to pick from. Now, with that said, please keep in mind that you're going to be waking up around 6 o'clock in the morning, especially when you're doing the safari. So very, very few people are out for a drink late at night. Maybe, sometime during the day, you'd want to have a beer in the middle of the day just to kind of cool down from the long drives. The tents in Serengeti, we're going to be staying there for 3 nights. They are very well equipped. So you could call it glamping. This is exactly actually the way they look. You walk in, there's a double bed or 2 single beds. They are covered with mosquito nets all around, and you've got plenty of storage room around. You've got a nice desk if you're going to be working or writing, and then in behind that whole area you do have pretty much a full bathroom. You've got a large rain shower, you have of course a toilet, and then you have his and hers vanity, which is really nice. And when you're in bed, so picture yourself in bed, it's very comfy. You're going to get a lot of cushions and a lot of room, basically. Picture yourself inside this mosquito net. The walls of the actual tent are see-through. They're like a tough mesh material, and you go in and out by unzipping it. So you unzip it, you kind of fold it, you go in, you go out. But the point is, when you're in your bed at night, you can see and hear everything. It is nighttime. So you do see very few things, but you can hear everything. So you're going to be able to hear the wildebeest. You're going to be able to sometimes hear the lions. You can hear the monkeys. You can hear all sorts of different birds, and even some animals walking around, like small antelopes and such. So it is very exciting to be sleeping in the tents in Serengeti. This is why you're going. So I would say this is the highlight of the whole tour. Total driving. For the first 7 days, we're going to be driving a lot. I'm going to say 3 or 4 days are going to be spent absolutely in the Jeep from morning until nighttime. These are the days where we're getting from point A to point B. So for example, when we do Manyara to Serengeti and back to the same area, we're going to be in the Jeeps, and then throughout the 3 days that we're in the Serengeti, we're in the Jeep all the time. We have our snacks, we have our fridge with the water, and we're looking out for animals. We're doing game drives, exciting game drives. We are on a private tour. We can make them shorter, we can make them longer, but definitely there is going to be a lot of driving. So get ready for that. I'm going to request the same driver that we had this year. We were very happy with him, so hopefully we get the same guy, Julius. In the tents, in the campsite, the glamping or whatever you want to call it, we did have a night with a bonfire. we did see animals. We did see monkeys. We did see a lot of wildebeest. We did see hyenas walking around the property at night. So it did get to be pretty exciting. Let's see, what else? Packing list. I'm definitely, all these little details in the packing list I will be sending to all the clients that pay deposits for the trip. Maybe about a month before we leave, you're going to get a detailed packing list with everything else that you need to know, or you shouldn't forget about going on the trip. Temperature, we said. Tanzania, very, very safe. Absolutely nothing to worry about. How close can you get to the animals was one of the questions that I got while I was on the safaris. But basically they have a rule when you're in the Jeep or when you're outside, sometimes you get to actually be outside. It is 20 to 30 meters. So you should not approach any of the animals and you should not come any closer than 20 to 30 meters, even if you're in the Jeep and even if you're, with your camera. But sometimes if you're sitting there still in the Jeep, the animals will come close to you. So you'll be in a Jeep, for example, and the lion will come right up to the Jeep, or the hippo will come right up to the Jeep. So then you can sit still and take your pictures and just enjoy the moment, if that happens to happen. We are visiting 3 parks. So we're going to, from Manyara, to one of the reservation areas. Then afterwards, we're going into the Ngorongoro Conservation Area and the Serengeti National Park. And on our way, we will be actually visiting Masai Mara Village with the local Maasai people, so that you'll get to see how they live. And this is, most of all, a great picture opportunity. We took a lot of beautiful videos and a lot of beautiful pictures with the Maasai, and we went to see their school. And yeah, so this will be, the visit to the Maasai village will be included in your trip. Kids are, of course, allowed on this adventure with us, but I will be taking only kids 6 and older. It is really not recommended for kids that are less than 6 years old due to the fact that we're waking up very early and that we're driving a lot. So, something to consider if you were thinking of taking your kids. In Manyara, the national park that we're going to visit is the park that has the most elephants in Africa. And it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful sight. And then when we go down to Serengeti, of course, it is the park with the most lions in Africa. So that is a huge highlight. Let me see. Why go with the group? That was one of the questions as well. It was a very, very, very special experience, especially having a lot of youngsters, that could communicate amongst themselves and share their experiences. That was really beautiful. We had our dinners together. We mingled. We made new friends, which is always probably the best thing, that comes out of these group trips anyways. And the pictures, I'm going to say the pictures definitely, because we get to share all of our information. We get to share all of our pictures. We've had well over 1,500 pictures in total. And I take my camera with me. I take a lot of pictures of everybody that in the end I share with everyone. So yes, this is what I wanted to tell you. I wanted to kind of throw all this information out there because these are the most frequently asked questions. So if you do have any additional questions, if you're considering but are not sure if this is for you, please give me a call. I would be happy to talk to anybody. I am, for God's sakes, going again. So it's a trip that I meant to have for a once in a lifetime kind of experience, and joined by my family. And then we had such a fabulous time that we decided, I decided to take another group next year, and hopefully that becomes possible and we have just as good as a time as we had now. Thank you for listening, and hopefully you join me in Tanzania next year. Bye.